Thank you for watching and supporting the RWL YouTube channel. The RWL Japan 5-Star Collaborative Tour continues now with RWL Rave. Good evening, fans the world over. Welcome to the nice edition of RWL Race from Tokyo, Japan, card number 3 of the RWL Japan 5-Star Collaborative Tour. Glad you're with us. I'm Don Hickson, and joining me will be Christy Ogilvie and Myron Schimmelman. Myron, tell us a little bit about what we've got on tap this evening.
Hi, everybody. How we doing tonight? We got every class, every division represented tonight. We have left no stone unturned. Between RWL and Japan 5-Star, let me tell you, it's going to be now. Here's the most important thing. We got a very special main event tonight. It's been done. The whole thing was done under wraps. It was practically done in secret, but I can't say anything else. But it's a shot.
I'm not going to give it away, but I'm pretty sure I know what it's about.
Right there with you, Christy, but more about that later. Our opening contest tonight, a ladies division matchup, pitting Mercedes Mone, the AEW TBS Women's Champion, against the Yankee Rose, Miss Georgia Washington.
Boy, these two, the both of them. When we set up this match, I had to take a couple of minutes to figure it all out, and then I had to take another couple of minutes to decide whether or not I wanted to do this stuff anymore.
That well, eh, Myron?
Tonight's opening match is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle from Boston, Massachusetts, she's the AEW TBS Women's Champion, the CEO, Mercedes Mone.
Sounds like they gave you another of your usual headaches. What happened exactly?
It's the two of them. They're the both of them. They're both schmucks. Well, let's start with Mercedes Mone here. Ever since we got here, she's been spreading her poison all the way around. Getting on everyone's nerves, just annoying the hell out of everybody. And then I got Georgia Washington. She's like, oh, I'm starting? I'm doing the opening match? That's beneath me? I'm like, shut up. You're both doing the opening match and that's it.
Sounds to me like a genuine clash of egos, Myron.
You've got no idea, Doc.
And just listen to the fusillade of boos for the Yankee Rose, Georgia Washington.
Hey, Don. Not just one, but two lightning rods of controversy, honey.
A titanic clash of egos about to happen here as our opening contest on RWL Rave.
Personally, I hope they destroy each other, but I'm not holding my breath.
And her opponent from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, she's the Yankee Rose, Miss Georgia Washington.
While Georgia is just her usual pain in the ass self, I hear Mercedes Mone has been spitting punches in the mouth from just about everyone she's met so far. She's Shira Torahata's guest, so everybody's trying to be super diplomatic and not embarrass RWL. But the word backstage is, she's making diplomatic very hard.
Oh, believe me, she's making diplomatic extremely hard. And sooner or later, she's going to cross the wrong person before we leave Japan and something bad's going to happen, I promise you.
Well, right now, Miss CEO has a more immediate problem in Georgia, Washington.
Well, with these two extremely unpopular opponents, fans are likely to root for the referee, Willie Johnson. The bell sounds, the ladies come center ring, collar and elbow tie-up goes behind, does Georgia Washington. Mercedes Mone taken down to the canvas, struggling to find her way out of that hold. Georgia Washington pitches her to the canvas, kick to the midsection from Mercedes Mone and a headlock. Mercedes Mone cinching up on this headlock on Georgia Washington, takes her down to the canvas. And look at this, a nice counter from Georgia Washington. And another excellent counter from Mercedes Mone. Well, some excellent chain wrestling from these two ladies in the early offings. Up we go. No, Meteora. Knees to the chest of Georgia Washington from Mercedes Mone. The CEO taken down by the Yankee Rose. Mone counters, charges, clothesline. Takes down Georgia Washington. Georgia Washington with a gouge of the eyes. Up over the shoulders and across the top rope goes Mercedes Mone. Mone countering with a jawbreaker, backs off Washington, fails to connect with a dropkick, an overhand right from Georgia. And Georgia Washington with Mercedes Mone by the hair and again yanking the top rope across the throat of the CEO. Mercedes Mone countering with an arm drag. Mercedes Mone with Georgia Washington trying to repay her by taking her to the ropes, but Georgia Washington countering with elbows to the midsection of Mercedes Mone. Mone countering with a kick. They lock up, they tussle. Georgia shoves her back, a kick puts her in the corner. Mone whipped to the far corner, here comes Georgia. A forearm takes her down. Georgia Washington rolls her over and goes for the cover here. One, and just barely a one. Mercedes Mone powering out of the pin. A knee to the head of Mercedes Mone. Georgia Washington, a knee to the back of the head. Whoa. Mone counters with a kick. Goes around. Look at that beautiful tilt-a-whirl from the CEO. Mercedes Mone trying to turn around things here, but an enziguri from Georgia Washington, who has been pretty dominant in this matchup up so far. Mercedes Mone gathers her up. Georgia sweeps the leg, takes her down, stomp to the midsection, and a stomp to the arm, and a knee to the chest of Mercedes Mone. Georgia Washington, absolutely relentless so far. Takes herself all the way to the top rope, turns herself around. Here we go. Whoa! Not a second too soon. Mercedes Mone getting up the knees, thwarting that moonsault from Georgia Washington. Georgia countered by Mone, taken down to the mat. And here we go into single leg grab. The referee watching Georgia. Georgia inching her way towards the ropes. Besides, she better escape. There we go. Georgia Washington with an overhand right rounds up Mercedes Mone. Pitches her to the ropes. And look at that. Winds her up and whoa! What a shot right there to the head of Mercedes Mone and a backbreaker. Torturing the lower vertebrae of the CEO. The Yankee Rose, Georgia Washington. Countered with a knee to the head by Mercedes Mone. Whoa, Mercedes Mone is hot. No question about it, she is fired up. Georgia Washington being brought back in the hard way. Whoa! With a neck breaker draped across the rope. Georgia Washington gathered up. Mone takes her down with a clothesline. Charges, delivers a second. And a beautiful kick that takes Georgia down to the mat. Georgia Washington gathered up again. The CEO with a kick to the midsection. And here we go. Whoa! What a neck breaker. As Mone goes for a cover. 1, 2, and very close to a near fall. She knows it. Willie Johnson thinks he knows it. And Georgia Washington's grateful. Mercedes Mone circling like a shark here on Georgia Washington. Goes behind Georgia. Countering with elbows. Backs off Mone. Takes her down with a quick clothesline. Drives a knee into the head of Mercedes Mone. Mone gathered up again by Georgia Washington. Fireman's carry from Mone. Mone with Georgia by the hair and pays her back, hangs her up the top rope. Mercedes going for the cover just about center ring here. 1, 2, and another near fall as Georgia Washington. Whoa, ducks the knee from Mone, just about getting to her feet. Here we go, takes her down hard. Mercedes Mone is laid out near center ring as Georgia takes herself all the way up to the top rope. Mercedes Mone makes her way to a standing position here. And whoa, look at this. Mercedes Mone catches her and counters it into a powerbomb. Just beautiful. Georgia nails her with a jawbreaker. Mone countering with an arm drag. Mercedes Mone countered by Georgia Washington. And Georgia pitches her over the top rope and out onto the floor. And Miss Georgia Washington rallying some support from the fans in Tokyo. Good luck with that. Both these ladies about as popular as a social disease and an orgy. Mercedes Mone on the outside, escaping whatever plans Georgia Washington had in mind as Willie Johnson engages the count. Georgia rounds her up, winds her up, and a neck breaker shot right there. Georgia with a chop across the chest. Mercedes Mone counters. They collide. Georgia follows Mercedes Mone back inside the ring. Hard shot from Mercedes Mone. Georgia whipped to the ropes. Quick counter from Georgia. A kick to the midsection. Oh, that one doubles Mercedes Mone. And whoa! Slam face first into the mat. Wow! Georgia Washington covers and hooks the leg here. 1, 2, 3. The 3-count pinfall goes to Georgia Washington. Look at this laughing at Mercedes Mone.
The time was 7 minutes and 12 seconds. Here's your winner, Miss Georgia Washington.
Well, we have seen Georgia Washington take a chair to a fallen opponent in the past, but Miss Washington, perhaps a little bit restrained in her performance this evening, content with having defeated Mercedes Mone, the AEW TBS champion.
I would have been happy if the Jumbotron fell on the both of them in the middle of the ring.
Myron, no. That's a horrible thing to say, no matter how much they got on your nerves.
They were my nerves, Christy.
And so it is that these two extremely unpopular ladies engaged in a pretty good matchup, with Miss Georgia Washington, the Yankee Rose, prevailing, scoring the 3-count pinfall over Mercedes Mone, and I'm pretty sure Mercedes Mone is going to be stinging about that one.
Good. She should only be as miserable as she's made everybody else. But that notwithstanding, stick around because we've got a whole lot more. We're going to have the Vandal Brothers in a tag team match going up against the Japan 5-star tag team champions, Mr. Fuji and Professor Toru Tanaka. And what's more, we've got an 8-man cruiserweight match. Unbelievable. Everybody's in it. And then we got Superstar Billy Graham versus the Nature Boy Ric Flair. All that and a whole lot more when Rage comes back. Don't you go anywhere.